This video will give you step-by-step instructions on how to brew your own home-brew beer. You can start simple and get more complex as you go. This would be a step above the simple. Okay, today is Brew Some Beer Day. I'm going to reward myself for all my hard work by brewing up some beer. What I have here is a little kit put together. Now, these kits can be altered, changed by using different yeast, different grains, different malt extracts, different hops, etc. But your main components are right here. They are pure malt extract, maltodextrin, flavoring hops, bittering hops, yeast, grain, and a grain bag. And when you're finished, you're going to need priming sugar. Okay, so to begin making my beer, the first step is to begin making a wort. To make a wort, I have a stainless steel 4-gallon pot and a thermometer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that water to a certain temperature, and then I'm going to fill this grain bag with the grains and steep it like a tea in my pot. And that's going to begin my wort. Okay, so my water has reached the temperature of 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And now it's time for me to add my grains, which you see I've put in the grain sack. And I'm going to try to keep this pot between 150 degrees and 165 degrees Fahrenheit for the next 20 minutes. This is going to start my wort. Okay, my grains have been steeping in water for approximately 11 minutes at 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Now while I'm doing the steeping process to create my wort, I'm filling up my fermentation bottle with 2.5 gallons of filtered water. But I also have to make sure that all my equipment is sterilized. Anything that touches the beer or comes near to that beer has to be sterilized. You can use a solution that you buy, or you can make a bleach solution. Also, I'm softening up my malt extract by placing it in warm water after I peeled the labels off the containers. This is going to aid in pouring it out because it's a very thick substance. Okay, my grains have steeped at 160 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. So now I'm going to remove them without squeezing the bag, but I will allow the juice to drip out. It's very important that during this process you did not allow the wort to go over 170 degrees Fahrenheit, because this would allow tannins from the grain to escape into the wort. You can see my wort is already a beautiful dark color and it smells great. The next step is to bring it to a gentle rolling boil. I will then add my malt extract as well as my maltodextrin. I will then again return it to a slow boil and add my bittering hops along with some other hops that I've collected. I let the bittering hops boil for 40 minutes, and now I'm adding the flavoring hops, again using the grain bag, and this will boil for another 20 minutes. The flavoring hops have boiled for 20 minutes. I can now terminate the boil and transfer my wort into a sink full of ice water to cool. This could take several changes of water. Once my wort has cooled, I can siphon it down into my fermenter. They do sell pumps to do this, but a siphon hose will do. With the exception of some heavy sediment at the bottom of my pot, I've transferred my wort into my fermentation bottle. Added to the 2.5 gallons of filtered water, my 2.5 gallons of wort gives me 5 gallons. My next step would be to take a hydrometer reading as soon as the wort is under 70 degrees. I've taken my hydrometer reading at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This is not a necessary step, but you may want to do it to see how much alcohol potential your brew has. Next, I proof my yeast by adding it to a few ounces of slightly warmed wort. The yeast is bubbling, so I'll add it to my brew. My final step is to fill my one-way valve halfway with water and then seal the fermenter. This is a lager, so I'll leave it in a cool, dark spot in the basement and check on it daily. This is a lager instead of an ale, so it's probably going to take at least 3 weeks in a cold, dark place. In the meantime, I will be sharing with you the progress as well as some tips on how to complete your brew. Also, in the future, I hope to make some exotic brews, putting in some ingredients that are not normally put into brews and experimenting a little bit. My hope is to get more complex as I grow in my knowledge and experience in home brewing. I hope you stay tuned, and I send you my peace.